We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
We are just moments away from the last road game of the year. What a setting here, downtown San Diego, beautiful San Diego Marina. Not too far from there is Petco Park, the home of the Padres. It's the Brew Crew and the Friars this afternoon, late afternoon matchup. Taylor Youngman on the mound for the Brewers. It'll be his last start of 2015. He's looking for his 10th win and looking for a memory on his way to the offseason. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from San Diego. Another beautiful night for baseball here. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Telly Hughes is our reporter here this evening. All right, Taylor Youngman, his last start of the season, Rockies. Really struggled in his last 4 starts. He wants to have a good one going in.
Yeah, he needs to have a good one to finish the season here and going into the offseason. He was so good for 3 months. It would be a shame for him to think about nothing but the month of September. And if a bad start happens here today, that could very well be the case. But his last time out against San Diego, very good work at Miller Park. 7 innings. 2 runs, that was all he gave up, 6 hits. So hopefully that talking about the San Diego Padres back at Miller Park, is going to get him off the schneid. He's had a very rough month of September. He was 9-5 at one point, 9-7 right now, needs a win here today.
Well, Taylor Youngman, last call for him in his rookie season. Brewers are trying to sweep the Padres for the first time ever in San Diego. Gene Segura has been a big part of that so far. Telly Hughes has more on Segura after this.
Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. The Brewers can tie a bow on the final road trip of the season with a sweep in San Diego if they can pick up the win over the Padres today. Good afternoon from Petco Park, everyone. I'm Telly Hughes. Gene Segura will not be in the starting lineup for the series finale between the Brewers and Padres today, but his impact has been totally affected, and you can very much see it in the first two games. Segura was able to set the table for the series in Game 1 when he drove in 3 runs, including an eventual game-winning 2-run home run, his 6th of the season. Gene collected another RBI last night to give him 4 for the series while batting .375. Craig Counsell views Segura as a true impact player, and when Gene's going good, usually the team is as well.
He has an ability to impact us in lots of areas of the game. He's in the middle of the diamond. He, at shortstop, you handle the ball a lot. He's going to be involved in He's going to be involved in the defensive outcome. He impacts our defense greatly. He impacts us on the bases. So he has a potential to impact the game in so many ways.
The Brew Crew will take a swing at a series sweep in the final road game of the season. Taylor Youngman will look to take down the Padres, and after the break, B.A. and Rock will have the call next from San Diego.
Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. What a beautiful late afternoon and evening it is going to be here in San Diego. Of course, that's the way it is every day here, right? 79 degrees. And we are set for the final road game of the season. Craig Counsell managing against his old mentor, his old college coach, Pat Murphy. And Counsell and the Brewers have won the first 2 games here in San Diego. And now they go after the clean sweep as they get ready to head back to Miller Park tomorrow against the Cubs. Starting lineup looks like this tonight. Scooter Gennett, Hernan Perez, Jason Rogers. In the middle, it's Chris Davis, Domingo Santana, and Martin Maldonado. Michael Reed making his first career Major League start. He's in right field. Yadiel Rivera at short, and Taylor Youngman on the mound. And there is Ian Kennedy, who tonight makes his 30th start of the season.
What are we calling it?
6th consecutive season of 30 or more starts. I guess technically it's a day game, so we call it today because it starts before 4 p.m. local time.
But when it starts getting dark, we can say tonight. Right?
Feels like tonight.
Well, Ian Kennedy's 30 years old, making start number 30, 8-15. It's been a rough start for Ian Kennedy. I guess it's a rough season for Ian Kennedy. First year in the big leagues with the Yankees in 2007. Spent some time with the Diamondbacks. He pitched in the playoffs against the Brewers with the Diamondbacks. Third year with the Padres. You can see his numbers, 438, having a rough month of September. Let's check out the Menards Padres defense. They're about middle of the pack in the National League. And team defense, you got Myers, Upton, and Jankowski in the outfield. That's Melvin Upton in center field. Solarte, Jerko, Spangenberg, and Brett Wallace from third to first. And Norris behind home plate, Derek Norris.
And here are the umpires tonight. Carlos Torres will call the balls and strikes. Laz Diaz, Jeff Nelson, and Corey Blazer are the base umpires. That's the crew chief there, Jeff Nelson. All the pieces in place. We're ready for baseball as the sun begins to set. You're going to see some shadows creeping out, and that could be a hindrance on the hitters. So it feels like a night for the pitcher tonight. First pitch is in there, strike one from Kennedy, and away we go. Scooter Gennett back in the leadoff spot. Comes in batting .266. Gennett with an on-base percentage near 300, and that'll help his cause. And it is another first-inning base hit for Scooter Gennett. That's his fourth of the road trip.
He had a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. He's been a pretty good leadoff hitter for Craig Counsell. The Brewers have been swinging the bats pretty well. Had a tremendous sixth inning in yesterday's ball game. All they needed was 5 runs in the sixth. And the Brewers have a chance to go sweep this series and take 6 of 7 from the Padres this year.
Well, the Brewers are playing pretty good baseball right now. They had that comeback win on Sunday in St. Louis, that 7-run ninth inning with the Jason Rogers grand slam. He finally got himself back in the lineup here today. Tough league, this big league right here. We're trying to get Rogers back in the starting lineup. But the Brewers have won 3 straight and split the series with the Cardinals 2-2. And winning the first 2 here. 3 games remaining after today. We got the Cubs at Miller Park beginning a series tomorrow. Now the Brewers' road record this year is 34-46. So they're trying to win their 35th game. They're 10 games under at home, 34-44, 12 games under on the road. Perez with Scooter Gennett at first, and a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Kennedy's not a hard thrower. He mixes it up. He's got all 4 pitches. Curveball, changeup, mostly going to be 2-seam fastballs at about 93. That's about where he tops out, and a slider cutter combination.
30-year-old right-hander Ian Kennedy. He's a Southern Californian. He's from Huntington Beach, California. Played his high school ball in Westminster, and then he went to UCLA. I beg your pardon, USC. Don't want to make that mistake. I beg your pardon, Ian. He is a USC product. And originally drafted by the Yankees, made it to the big leagues with the Yankees, then traded to the Diamondbacks. And that year Rock mentioned when he was one of the best pitchers in the game, 2011, that was the year the Diamondbacks played the Brewers in the NLDS. And Kennedy was a 21-game winner in 2011. Led the league that season in wins. Had a 2.88 ERA and actually finished 4th in the Cy Young Award voting. But he did not pitch so well against the Brewers in his 2 starts in the DS. He was their #1 starter. Pitched games 1 and 5. And the Brewers hung a loss on him in game 1. And then he was on the mound in game 5 as well. That dramatic Niger Morgan game-winning RBI hit to score Gomez. There's a shot right to second. Spangenberg to Jerko and easily turned double play once he got it in the glove.
He will get a lot of ground ball outs when he's right, although in the month of September he hasn't been right too often. Last time out against San Francisco, a no decision, 4 earned runs, allowed 11 hits, scattered 11 hits in 5 innings. in a no decision, having a tough month of September. Once again, he, as well as Taylor Youngman, would like to finish his season off on a high note.
And it'll both of them be their final starts of the year. Jason Rogers takes strike one. And finally back in that starting lineup. Rogers with 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. That 4th homer was the one he will never forget. His first career grand slam in the big leagues. And what a moment it was. Might be the best moment of the year for the Brewers in an otherwise down season. This was a 9th inning grand slam that put the Brewers on top. It was 3-1 Cardinals before that swing. And part of a 7-run 9th inning for Milwaukee in the travel day in St. Louis.
Off of Trevor Rosenthal. And one of the best wins of the year for Milwaukee for sure.
Brewers have a 7-run 9th. They had a 5-run 6th inning yesterday. All the scoring in the game yesterday, and that's all they would need. As Rogers is tied up. Good fastball from Kennedy and a good start for him here this afternoon. Brewers failed to score. Now the Padres coming up against Taylor Youngman. Here this week, and they're wrapping up the baseball season here in San Diego at Petco Park. Pat Murphy taking over for Bud Black. You see his record, 10 games under 500. This will be his 93rd game as interim manager. A lot of questions whether he'll come back next year. His batting order today is Will Myers, Corey Spangenberg, and Yangervis Solarte at the top of the order. He's got Jerko Wallace and Melvin Upton Jr. in the middle. Derek Norris, Ian Kennedy, and Travis Jankowski make up the bottom. Got the pitcher batting 8th, and no Matt Kemp and no Justin Upton.
Yeah, so that makes Taylor Youngman's job a little bit easier. He's lost his last 2 decisions. Did pick up a win against the Padres back at Miller Park. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and an 8-5 Brewers victory. He's been having a difficult time on the road. He's 4-5 on the road in 11 starts and 5-2 at home.
Youngman got off to a great start in his big league career. Came up in early June. And his first 16 starts, he had a 2.42 ERA. And that was the best among all rookies in the National League during that stretch. Only gave up 3 homers in those first 16 starts, but his last 4 have been trouble. On ERA at 9.6, he's given up 7 homers in his last 4. And he's looking for a bounce back here today, which will be his last start and a good memory to head into the offseason. Will Myers back in the leadoff spot for San Diego. And way inside. 3 balls, no strikes right out of the gates.
Yeah, Taylor's been battling his mechanics just a little bit. He's been working a little bit even in pregame warm-ups on the field here, working on his landing foot. Trying to figure it out. The control hasn't been lately what it was early in the season when he first came up.
That one's in there for a strike. I noticed he drew a line from the pitching rubber on the third base side down to the front of the mound. So that's something new for Youngman. He might have thought about that line, or maybe he's done it in the bullpen. I don't recall him doing it in a game. There's a ground ball, foul, just missed the bag at third.
When you have your mechanics together, you really don't need lines like that. But when you're thinking about stuff, little subtle changes in your delivery can make a big difference. You can see pitches on the far third base side of the pitching rubber. Really can't see that line too well in that angle, but there's a line that goes from the corner, the third base corner of the rubber, down toward the plate.
And that's where he's trying to put that plant foot. There's a ground ball deep in the hole. It's short. And a good strong arm over there for the Brewers today. And Yadiel Rivera, who starts for Segura. And let's check the Menards Brewers defense to give you the rest of the crew.
Well, it's Davison Santana in left and center, and Michael Reed getting his first ever start in the big leagues. He does have a base hit off the bench. That happened in St. Louis. You got Perez, Rivera, Jeanette, and Rogers from third to first, and Martin Maldonado behind home plate. Rivera with the big arm playing shortstop here today.
It's got to be a thrill for Michael Reed. His first big league start. He's been playing well. He's been coming in for defensive purposes the last couple of nights. He is from Cedar Park, Texas, and that is about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so from where Taylor Youngman is from. And those two know each other well. Youngman a little bit older, but those two were all throughout the central Texas area growing up as top flight baseball players, and here they are reconnected in the major leagues. That's through a base hit. Spangenberg out to Reed, and a one-out single for the Padres second baseman.
And the command for Taylor has not been very good in the month of September. He does have a win. That was his first September start. 2 losses, a couple of no decisions, earned run average over 7 in 5 starts in September. He was on the corners. The curveball was sharp and late breaking, but that has not been the case. I think perhaps September innings have gotten the best of him here this year.
Now, Taylor did say his arm feels good. He feels healthy. There are little nicks that everybody deals with, especially a starting pitcher. And even though the Brewers are just getting to know Youngman since early June, he's been pitching all season. Was a starter down at AAA. Had an ERA over 6 at Colorado Springs, and that's why when he finally arrived here, it has been a bit of a surprise that he was able to dominate like he was. But Craig Counsell has made it a point. All these rookie starters, he wants them to finish strong. Let them feel what late September baseball feels like in the major leagues. That's not something that exists in the minor leagues. You don't play in September unless you make the postseason. And try to get over that hurdle this season, and then be ready to stretch it out and go the distance next season.
Yeah, he's at 175 innings right now, and he combined his numbers from the minor leagues and here in Milwaukee.
Padres have Yangervis Solarte batting third. He's up there with a runner at first and 1 away. Out of the starting lineup yesterday. Did get a pinch hit appearance. Brewers won at 5-0 yesterday. Zach Davies won his third game in his final start. He was terrific. 7 shutout last night for Davies in his final start of the year.
He showed a good fastball, was working it on the inside corner, jamming some hitters. The changeup was very good. He was really only in trouble 1 inning. That was it, second inning last night.
Brewers had back-to-back games with first major league wins, and there's a base hit. Solarte serves one into center field, and 2 on with 1 out. Back-to-back singles by the Padres. David Goforth got the win in that comeback in St. Louis, pitching out of the bullpen. That was his first major league win. And then Jorge Lopez in his major league debut Tuesday night got a victory as well. And then Davies with his third win last night, beating Andrew Kashner. 2 on, 1 away. Here is Jed Jerko. Fastball strike at 93. Good velocity early for Youngman.
A pretty good piece of hitting that time by Solarte. That fastball not even on the plate. A couple inches off the outside corner, just dumped it into center field. And Youngman and Maldonado want to get together on the signs from second base. Shadow's starting to play a part of what's going on. Yeah, the light standards are casting shadows upon the field.
Tough sun field here at Petco is right field. The setting sun beyond the third base grandstand. So Michael Reed gets his first major league start, and he gets to deal with a tough sun in a late afternoon start. And then we'll get into the twilight part of the night. I mean, this is the kind of game you always want to take an early lead if you can, but this is the kind of game you really want to get ahead early. Feels like a day for the pitcher. 2 on, 1 out. Youngman looking for a double play ball here. And a grounder in the hole, backhanded. Long throw by Rivera and a pick by Rogers. Wow, what a play that was.
What kind of arm that kid has, huh? Boy, Yadiel Rivera, we've been talking about his arm ever since he's come up. He saw a big arm at second base, and that's a play that you would think that he wouldn't even have a chance. Now, Jerko doesn't run all that well. About the only guy on the roster that he's going to be able to throw out, but the point is he's able to get it there, and a pretty good pick over there by Jason Rogers.
That was a wicked short hop he had to deal with. So excellent on both ends, and instead of a hit, it's going to be an out. 2 outs in the inning, and Youngman will face Brett Wallace.
I don't know about offense, but he's ready to play defense at the major league level. There's no question about that.
You know, Rivera, he's a shortstop by trade, but he's been playing a lot of second base this year in the minor leagues. He was playing second base in Double-A with the terrific prospect shortstop Orlando Arcia. And those who saw that combo play say that combo's as good as any in the big leagues right now defensively. I've heard that from a number of scouts. And Rivera gets back to his more natural position, shortstop.
Point is, you have a guy that can play anywhere in that infield. He can play third, short, second base. Nice to have a guy like that on the bench.
Now, Craig Counsell is wanting to put a premium on defense moving forward. The Brewers certainly need to upgrade defensively, and you figure that's going to be a big part of the program in spring training. Counsell was always a very good defender, always in the right position, and he demands that from his middle infielders. Three balls, no strikes on Wallace. And Youngman walks him to load the bases.
And Youngman really trying to establish curveball changeup in the first inning here. Throwing a lot of changeups already, more than normal. Maybe trying to compensate, knowing that his fastball doesn't really have the same life that he did earlier in this season, and hasn't been able to put it where he wants it.
So here is Melvin Upton now. He's been swinging a lot early in the count in this series. And Youngman hits the edge, a strike called. Melvin's brother Justin not in the lineup. Got a neck strain after he collided with the wall yesterday. Big spot early for Youngman. High stress pitches right out of the gates. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the count is 0-2 on Melvin.
Fastball right down the middle. Upton like to have that one again. That one split home plate right in half.
Upton's actually been swinging the bat pretty well for a while now. You go back to early July. So nearly 3 months on the calendar, and he's hitting .287. And a wave and a miss. He strikes out. Youngman got him with a curveball. So a strikeout with the bases loaded, and it is a scoreless first inning for San Diego. The second now. Youngman just getting out of a bases loaded jam in the first. It is now time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WishDataStrongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. We're running out of them though, so you better hurry. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. 3 games remaining after this one. Brewers and the Cubs at Miller Park starting tomorrow. Jake Arrieta is on the mound for the Chicago Cubs tomorrow, by the way, so that is a guy in a window right now that is must-see. So make sure you come out and join us at Miller Park. It's going to be his last start of the season before the regular season, before he enters into the postseason.
That game that he pitched against Milwaukee at Wrigley, one of the best pitching performances I've seen in a couple of years. And completely dominant.
He's the reigning player of the week in the National League. So Arrieta tomorrow against Ariel Pena. And then you got Wagner and Kyle Hendricks on Saturday. That's a 6:10 first pitch. Sunday, note the first pitch time, 2:10, not 1:10 like normal. That is a 2:10 start time. And that's going to be Jorge Lopez, the Brewers minor league pitcher of the year. He'll be on the mound Sunday against Dan Herron. Every team will be starting around the 2 o'clock Central hour on Sunday for the last day of the regular season. 1-2 to Chris Davis.
It's probably going to only affect one race, right? The American League West.
Yeah, that West could come down to the last day. That's the West and the American League wild card.
Down to the wire.
2-2. Davis a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Kennedy with his second strikeout.
Not sure if that's a changeup or a cut fastball, maybe slider, not sure, but it darted away from Davis as it got to the hitting zone. This will be a good look at it. Changeup. Good pitch.
Here's Domingo Santana with one away. Domingo 0 for 3, was in there for the opener on Tuesday, not in the starting lineup last night. Ryan Braun shut down for the rest of the year. He is approaching back surgery. We wish him the best with that. They're trying to get that scheduled as soon as the season ends. Braun is going to need a procedure to repair a herniated disc. He said it's no big deal, just a couple of snips.
Yeah.
Which sounds awful.
Just minor surgery. Doesn't exist, does it? Minor surgery?
Braun did try to play last Saturday in St. Louis. Couldn't go, so he's out the remaining of the season. Santana's been getting most of the playing time since he's been out. Santana tonight in center field with Reed and right.
Two big bats not in the Brewers lineup sitting next to each other there on the bench.
There's a shot off the glove of Kennedy, and it ricochets right out to Jerko for the out. So Jerko with a nice play, a bare hand pickup. That putout's going to go 1-6-3 for the second out of the inning.
Yep, deflected it perfectly over to Jerko right off the glove of Kennedy and able to make the play. Gets Santana by a step. Ian Kennedy has not had the luxury of good defense behind him. He's given up a ton of unearned runs. 15 unearned runs have crossed home plate with Kennedy on the mound. That's the second most in the National League. You know who has the most? Cashner.
Oh, is that right?
22, his teammate.
Yeah, we saw Cashner last night. Maldonado with a big swing and a foul on a breaking ball.
22 unearned runs. That's a ton. That's a lot.
Yeah, you start to get up to those numbers, and then the pitcher has to bear some more responsibility for that.
Pick up his defense once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
See the way Kennedy grips that baseball in his glove. He is the only other pitcher that I know of that throws the changeup that way, other than Kyle Loesch. He and Kyle Loesch are the only two that throw the Vulcan changeup. They put it between the middle and the ring finger. That's where the split finger is. And he always starts that way, and that's it right there. The Vulcan change. It's a good one. And when he was a 21-game winner in 11, he was as nasty as there was in the big leagues. He was throwing 95 miles an hour. He had that changeup going. Had a sharp slider, a curveball, had everything. Another one. This one misses low.
They pitched pretty well in that game 5. His team wasn't able to get a lot of runs. That was a great game, of course, and J.J. Putt's a losing pitcher. Will always be remembered, Ian Kennedy, for that in Milwaukee.
Hard to believe that was 4 seasons ago. Seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
4 seasons ago. Kennedy not pleased with that. Maldonado, who calls timeout a lot, or at least asks for it a lot. Pitchers do take exception, and Kennedy not real thrilled about that late call as Maldonado fouls it away.
But it's the umpire that allows it.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
That's the thing. I mean, you can be mad at Maldonado all you want, but it's the umpire, in this case Carlos Torres, that gives him timeout very late. No reason to get upset with a hitter. They can ask for timeout all they want. Doesn't mean they have to get it.
It seems like Maldonado almost always does it when he gets in a 3-2 count. There's a fastball strike. Down he goes. Kennedy with his 3rd K already. 3 up and 3 down in the second inning. Padres are coming up. We're just getting started here in San Diego. It's going to be a beautiful evening out there on the San Diego Marina. Downtown San Diego in the distance, and the ballpark is right in the middle of it. Gaslamp District, Petco Park, right on Harbor Drive. It's one of the best. It is a beauty.
That's just taken out near the airport. It's a nice walking area down there.
You can actually walk from downtown to the airport. Where can you do that?
Right.
Maybe Phoenix is the only other city I can think of.
Yes, you don't have water in Phoenix.
Taylor Youngman back to work. Pitched around a bases loaded mess last inning. Had 2 on with 1 out, and then bases loaded with 2 outs, and then he struck out Melvin Upton Jr. to get out of the inning. But Youngman threw 22 pitches in the first. Facing Derek Norris, who was an all-star last year with Oakland, and then traded to San Diego this offseason. He played first base last night. Back in there behind the plate here this evening. And a ground ball foul, broke his bat. Anytime you break a bat on a 2-0 fastball, you got good stuff. You've got something that's the hitter's just not seeing well.
But he broke the bat because he was out in front. At least he didn't get jammed on a 2-0 count. Frank Howard would be upset about that. Old Brewers hitting coach.
So he'd prefer that you hit one off the end of the bat as opposed to get jammed.
Or he'd always say, hook it around that foul pole.
Okay.
Didn't really subscribe to the inside out stroke.
There's a strike. That makes perfect sense, the kind of home run hitter he was.
Right.
He was one of the few, right, Frank Howard, that hit one in the upper deck at RFK?
Yes, he did.
Had one of the longest home runs
way
there.
back. He and Stargell, I think.
2-2 pitch. Oh, right off of Maldonado's mask. The 6'6" Texan, Taylor Youngman. Now, no matter what happens today, this has been a good year for him. It is common. There's a curveball and a dandy, but Norris able to lay off. That one had a lot of break on it. Tough to get those called for strikes.
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty close.
The payoff pitch into center field, and that sounded a little clunky, but it's going to fall for a base hit. So Norris is aboard. Leadoff single. That's the 3rd hit already against Youngman.
Yeah, that one right off the end too. Able to wait back long enough to get enough of it. And dump it into center field.
And a man on for the 8th place hitter, who is the pitcher today, Ian Kennedy. Second time in the series Pat Murphy's used the pitcher in the 8th spot of the batting order. Did not do it yesterday. That gets by Maldonado. And over to second base goes Derek Norris.
Yeah, figure that's a wild pitch. That's not even close to home plate. And Kennedy up there just trying to give himself up, trying to drop down a bunt. That one not even close.
A wild pitch will allow Norris into scoring position. And now Kennedy up there to bunt, takes a ball. 2-0. See Youngman, he's really fighting his mechanics, his command. Part of what makes him good is the same thing that can unravel him as well, those unorthodox mechanics, that crossfire delivery. Another foul shot off of Maldonado.
Hides the ball well, throws the ball, he slings it, across his body, and you're right. I mean, when he gets out of sync a little bit, which is what he is right now, just battling all the mechanics, both the upper body, You know, the landing foot, you know, he's concerned about where that foot is landing. He just can't do that when you're out on the mound. That's the time to do that, is when you're in the bullpen in the side session. But it's got to be second nature to you. You can't be thinking about it.
And that one's bunted foul. That'll even the count at 2-2.
It's like when you're working on the, you know, some issues up the plate as a hitter. You can't be thinking about where your hands are. Or if your front foot is hitting the ground before you start your swing, it's too late then. The only thing you think about is the baseball. And in Youngman's case, the only thing he should be thinking about is that target.
Runner at second, the pitcher at the plate, and an inside move. Kennedy showed his hand there that he was going to try to bunt again. Full count. A lot of deep counts. A lot of pitches for Youngman. Fatigue plays a big part of it as well. And I think Craig Counsell was making the point that you want to push these rookie pitchers into this area of innings that they have not seen. And then hopefully they're going to be able to prepare for that, train for that this offseason.
Yeah, get it out of the way this year, right? If you're expecting to use them throughout the season next year, let them go through all these growing pains now. And when you talk about fatigue, it's not necessarily arm and legs and body, it's mental fatigue as well.
3-2 pitch, and it is bunted foul, and that'll be a strikeout for Youngman. Kennedy might have bunted at ball 4. I think he realizes that. So the first out, it's the second strikeout, but a lot of pitches early in this game for Youngman. One away with a runner at second for Travis Jankowski. Youngman's had a lot of high-stress pitches already. Been in the stretch since the second batter of the game. We saw Jankowski yesterday as a substitute for Justin Upton. He ended up in the cleanup spot after Upton was injured. Was 1 for 3 in yesterday's Brewer win.
Hey, Padres got shut out for the 19th time last night. That was far and away leads the National League.
It was the 7th shutout for the Brewers. And their first since late August when they shut out the Reds. Hey, good looking changeup there from Youngman. That's the pitch that could make or break him right there.
He's been working it. He and Maldonado have been trying to get that pitch working for him tonight. He's starting to get a little bit more confidence in it. Maldonado keeps throwing it down there, asking for it.
Well, Jankowski yesterday against Zach Davies struck out twice on that changeup. And Maldonado was the catcher yesterday, so he's got a good book on these hitters.
But Youngman not nearly the changeup that Davies has.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball misses. Well, whatever book the Padres have on Youngman, they are not chasing the curveball. They're not even swinging at the curveball.
Not because he hasn't thrown it for strikes once. Unless you throw it for strikes, hitters aren't going to pay much attention to it. They see the spin, they say, forget it, I'm not swinging. It's not going to be a strike.
Another changeup. That one's fouled away. And another deep count on a hitter. You want to try to average 15, 16 pitches per inning. If you can go under that, that's a nice clean inning. If you go a little over that, so be it. But already 41 pitches. This is number 42 coming. And we're still with just 1 out in the second inning. Norris, a leadoff single. Went to second on a wild pitch. the count is full now.
And the other thing about the curveball, why the Padres really aren't offering at it, because it's not the same curveball right now that it was earlier in the year. You had that sharp, late-breaking curveball, tough for the hitter to pick up. This one's kind of rolling up there, not sharp, breaking early, and hitters can pick that up easily.
Will Myers on deck. Feels like he's in the batter's box. Is there some kind of unwritten rule about how close to the box you can get?
Yeah, well,
you're an on-deck hitter. I mean, he's standing right there.
Somebody's got to complain. Umpire's not going to say anything.
That's as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Closest I've ever seen.
That is a little bit close.
Man.
If I'm Maldonado, I'm backing him off.
And that missed down and away. Well, the Padres have two more on. Back to the top of the order. Will Myers, who got a good close look at that sequence.
About as close as you can get, right?
Now, what's the advantage of standing closer to the box for a hitter?
Just so you can see the pitches as they come into the strike zone. The closer you can get, the better off you are. You can get a sense for the late break on them, as opposed to being on the on-deck circle, which nobody's ever standing on that.
Starts Myers with a strike.
If that was Vuki out there, he'd whistle one over his head. He'd step off, whistle one over his head, and he'd go back to the on-deck circle.
Nice. There's another strike, this time a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, guys would do that if they're leading off an inning. I mean, it'll get a little bit too close. You know, as the pitcher's warming up.
Fire one over there.
Some guys would just fire one. They wouldn't do it in the game, of course. Get the sense that Pete Vukovich was not a guy you want to mess with.
Especially on game day.
To this day, even in the press room in Pittsburgh.
Right. I loved earlier this year, a reporter sat down at Vukovich's table and wanted to talk to him, and he gave him that same stare that you saw in Major League. It was that same growl.
Like, what do you want?
And then the guy said, "Hey, Vuki, how you doing? I haven't seen you around much lately." And then his response was,
"I have your schedule." meaning I'm avoiding you.
Just crushed him. I have your schedule. Well, Youngman in a 2-2 count. He's had 4 full counts already. 10th batter he's faced. 2 on, and that one is inside, ball 3, and there is the 5th full count.
Hey, Youngman not having any problems getting ahead in the count. Just can't put these guys away, trying to make the perfect pitch. Ahead 0-2, just hasn't been able to finish him off.
First and second. Padres with 1 out. Myers fouls it away.
That and the fact that these Padre hitters are fouling off some pretty good pitches to hit, and that one right down the middle.
Myers has had a tough time staying on the field this year. He's battled a wrist injury. He's had that problem in his career. It's only his 3rd year. He was the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago with the Rays. Traded from Kansas City to Tampa Bay and then bounced from Tampa Bay here. Line shot, and going to be a double play. Norris off the bag at second, and a line drive out turns into 2. And Taylor Youngman walking a tightrope here this afternoon.
A scoreless ball game here in the top of the third inning as Michael Reed will lead things off for the Crew. Reed is getting his first major league start. He's in right field tonight, and Craig Counsell said before today's game, Michael Reed is a guy who has definitely earned this opportunity. He's a guy that was not a highly touted prospect, but he has played himself into a position where they will have to consider him in next year's plans if he continues to do and develop the way he's been able to so far this season, BA. And Michael Reed is definitely looking at this opportunity as one that he wants to take advantage of and prove that he could possibly stick at the major league level.
Well, he's had a good year. He's earned this spot. He's only 22 years of age. He'll be 23 in November. So, but this is his age 22 season. And Rock, you don't see that a lot. Guys who aren't prospects, those are the guys that usually come on a little bit later, 25, 26, 27 years old. But he's been able to make some headway at a young age, right out of the gates. Now, he was a fifth rounder. He was taken in the same draft as Youngman, although he came out of high school. Youngman out of the University of Texas.
It's a good year or a good time right now for Michael Reed to be in the Brewers organization and the youth movement right now. They're rebuilding, retooling. You never know what can happen.
It's going to slice into these seats.
He's had good numbers down in the minor leagues, getting a chance, and so far he's been pretty good. Pretty good defender out of Maplewood, Minnesota. Don't see too many guys out of Maplewood.
Born there and then raised in Texas. Reed can run. He's got a good arm.
Maplewood in the Twin Cities area, Minneapolis. That kind of upsets you, doesn't it?
Oh, no, not at all. Just born there.
Maplewood, Minnesota.
No, not at all.
Seemed like you took offense to that.
I just didn't want you to, I just had this whole story about where he grew up with Taylor Youngman. I didn't want you to.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't doing anything about that. Just
there's a base hit to right.
Giving some love to Minnesota, that's all.
Reed is on with a single.
I'm sorry.
Go Vikings.
Yeah. Hey, Brewers season seat holders enjoy the best seats at the lowest prices, plus a number of exclusive benefits, more Midwest, I
see.
Available to the general public to place a deposit on 2016 ticket plans and guarantee the best seating locations. Go to brewers.com/season seats.
You just stop mid-promo to throw that in, didn't you?
I didn't want to upset you with the Texas thing.
Not at all. I mean, we're a very protective bunch. You're from where you're from.
Your own country.
Here's Yadiel Rivera. He's from Puerto Rico.
Born and lived.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I would imagine, wants to live in Texas.
Yeah, well, everybody does at some point. Everybody should. Or Wisconsin.
Right.
My new home. I knew I had been in Wisconsin long enough when my, your automatic reaction when somebody says, where are you from? For a long time, I still said Texas because I'm from there, but now I say Wisconsin.
Good. You should.
Yeah. I mean, 9 years, and that's where you're from now.
I mean, people ask me where I'm from. I say New Jersey. It's just where I'm from, but I live in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Been there since '83.
An honorary cheeser you are.
Proud of it.
Rivera's already made a sparkling play here today. Trying to get that bat going a little bit. That's a big question mark for Yadiel Rivera. Is he going to hit enough at the big league level? He can play shortstop or third or second.
Got to be able to hit at this level. You're not going to get much playing time.
He's young too. He's only 23. Just his 6th major league game. He does have a hit. He's 1 for 11 at the plate in the big leagues. That hit came against the Cardinals in St. Louis. That was his second major league game. And a swing and a miss. Kennedy strikes him out. That's his 4th strikeout already. 1 gone in the 3rd.
Yeah, that throw hard, but has pretty good location. You see that Vulcan grip on the changeup that he holds all the time, and then adjust it in the glove.
So that'll bring up Taylor Youngman. The Brewers pitcher can swing the bat a little bit. He's up there to bunt, takes it inside. That gets away from Norris. And Reed will advance to second base. That should be a pass ball, you would think.
Yeah, it didn't miss by much, but ordinarily those are called wild pitches. It'll be a pass ball, right?
Did you ever find it when you were catching, when a guy squares the bunt, he puts the bat right in your sight line?
Yeah, all the time. And that's a good idea. If you're up there and a guy's trying to run, just wave that bat in front of the catcher's eye. A lot of times he has a difficult time not just catching it, but it's really difficult to stay back and try and, you know, make a throw to second base.
Well, Youngman a chance to drive in a run. We are scoreless in the 3rd inning. Hey, Youngman with a good cut. He's a good hitter, Youngman. He's got a good idea at the plate. He studies it. Takes pride in his hitting. He is 10 for 36 at the plate. Has a double as well. Kennedy's got him down 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one misses.
We laid off a changeup. Got a good idea up the plate. You start getting changeups with 2 strikes, the word's out on you.
Youngman right back to Kennedy, and he goes to second base. The tag not in time. And everybody will be safe. Reed got caught off, but able to get back. Kennedy took a chance, and it did not come through for him.
And not sure why you would do that. There is 1 out. I mean, that makes it 2 outs and a man at second base. Kennedy's throw a little bit high, and it looks like Jerko's missed the tag. That'll be a fielder's choice. I'm not sure if the fans saw the replay. They thought that Jerko got him on the back, but, you know, the replay in the Padres clubhouse says different. They're not going to challenge.
And they certainly would if they saw it that way. I think the fans might have misread that one. It looked like he got back in time. So 2 on now, 1 away. Top of the order, here's Scooter Gennett. And a wave and a miss. Gennett had his mind made up.
Are you saying the home fans are objective when they look at that?
I think they might be looking through the Padre goggles on that one. I mean, it was close, but I didn't think at any point he had a tag on him.
Well, Jerko didn't argue. That's the first sign.
He could have been a Jerko about it, but he wasn't. That's what you're saying. Gennett right off the end of the bat. That changeup from Kennedy. Scooter in swing mode here in his second plate appearance. Brewers have had some big innings on this road trip. Scored 5 last night in the 6th. And did it primarily with singles last night. Just chipped away. The Brewers had 13 hits in last night's game. And there were 2 extra base hits. Peterson had a double, Schaefer had a triple. And 11 singles. Segura, Perez, Maldonado all with runs batted in. Perez and Maldonado drove in 2 apiece last night. He missed outside. That's his best fastball yet, 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, trying to get him to chase. First 2 pitches to Scooter in this at bat were breaking pitches, a curveball and a changeup. You know, Scooter got his base hit to lead off the game on a fastball.
Jeanette with 2 hits last night, 2 for 5. He's got 2 on here with 1 man out, and a swing and a miss. That changeup got him. Strikeout number 5 and the second out of the inning.
Old veteran's not about to give him another fastball for a strike. Pulls his string, Scooter out in front. 2 outs.
You just can't beat a good changeup. Still the best pitch off the fastball in the game. And there's a lot of longevity that goes with that changeup too.
Yeah, easy on the arm.
So here's Perez, and a swing and a foul out of play. It's interesting how Kennedy throws that changeup, not just his grip, but the way it comes off his hand. I mean, very few throw it that way because that has to be incredibly difficult to perfect. The rhythm of that release as it rolls from his ring finger to his pinky finger, basically. I mean, he's literally throwing that ball with his 2 outside fingers when it finally comes off.
Man, which means it's very difficult to command. It takes a lot of practice. Got to get used to that. That's the pitch that Kyle Lohse was fighting all season.
Well, he's got Perez 0-2. 2 on for the Brewers. And a foul out of play. Hernan driving in a pair last night. He had a good night. Good at bats. Saw a lot of pitches. He had 3 hits.
Yeah, 2 to center, 1 to right. Staying on the baseball.
He's got his average up to 271 with his night last night. Reed at second. Youngman over at first. 1-2. Well, the Brewers are so young. Up and down their lineup, up and down their roster. Perez only 24 years of age.
17 rookies right now in the active roster. That tells you all you need to know.
12 major league debuts this year, including that man, the youngest looking of them all, Zach Davies.
But he's got 3 wins.
Yeah, he doesn't pitch like a young guy. He pitches like a veteran.
You forget very quickly, how young he looks and how young he is when he's out there on the mound. Very confident. Gets that baseball, gets it right back. Been impressive. Really has.
It's got to be a great feeling to have a start like that. 7 shutout innings. That's your last one. You know you're done. Full season, healthy. Perez into right field, a base hit. And Reed's going to try to score. The throw from Jankowski, 1 hop, and Reed is out. Perfect throw. And the inning ends at home plate. To take that chance with 2 outs, and the Padres executed to perfection.
Jankowski out and right. It was a base hit by Perez. Once again, taking it to the opposite field, but watch where Jankowski starts. He's playing very shallow out there in right field, figuring Perez not going to hit it over his head. He did not. And a one-hop throw right to Norris to get the out. Good slide attempt by Michael Reed. Tried to avoid that tag, but couldn't do it. That's our Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. Good tag by Norris. Good throw by Jankowski in right.
It's funny watching Norris make that play. I don't know if it's unusual or not, but he played first base yesterday, right? And you're trying to stretch and keep your toe on the bag at first base. Mm-hmm. And he did the same thing at the plate.
Well, what he was doing is just trying to make sure that his foot was not blocking off home plate before he had the baseball. And if that's the case, then Reed might be called safe.
So, boy, you plant your foot on the point, right?
You just try and make sure you plant your foot and not necessarily keep your foot on the plate, but know where it is, because no longer can you straddle the plate anymore. You have to know where that plate is. So these guys are learning how to make plays at home plate all over again.
Yeah, it's a completely new experience for them on where to stand and where to be with the new collision rules in place, which are reviewable. So an out at the plate to end the inning. The Brewers get 2 hits but come up empty. And a lot of base runners in this game. And it is still scoreless. San Diego stranded the bases loaded in the first. And they had 2 on with 1 out last inning, but a line drive turned into a double play. Line drive out to short. Spangenberg, who had a single in the first inning, back up there in the third. Youngman needs a clean inning here. A lot of pitches in his first 2 frames. Spangenberg's had some knee problems this year. Missed about 6 weeks with a knee injury. He was a good hitter for him before he got injured. He was hitting .290 prior to his injury. Had a nice little run going. He was playing all over. Second base, third base, first base. They used him as the designated hitter in one game. Boy, that's a good pitch that misses.
Hey, Padres pretty much in the same boat as the Brewers, right? You got some veteran guys, some big run producers that are not playing right now. We talked about Kemp and Justin Upton. Yonder Alonso's been hurt, so a lot of young players getting an opportunity. And Taylor Youngman once again not able to find the strike zone. That's kind of been the case.
That's his third walk. And it was another 3-2 count. I believe that's his 6th 3-2 count already. And he's faced just 10 batters. 11 batters, I beg your pardon. So 6 of the 11 batters in this game have gone into a 3-2 count. That's why the pitch count is pushing 60 right now.
It'll be difficult for him to pitch, even a moderate deep into this ball game tonight. The last 3 quality starts that the Brewer pitching staff, the starters have posted, have all come from Zach Davies. Last 3 in a row. That's it.
Now Lopez got the win on Tuesday, went 5 innings. Got to go 6 to get a quality start, they call it. The 6-inning rule, 3 runs or fewer, 6 or more innings. Davies with 3 in a row to finish, and his best big league start yesterday. 7 shutout.
Finished the year with 15 scoreless innings.
Yannivis Solarte, one of the many in a 3-2 count in this game. He swings at this one, a pop-up, behind home plate and into the seats. Not a lot of room back there.
Some nice catches in the seats today.
Yeah. Padre day game fans brought their A game.
I mean, and not even wearing gloves. There was one that sliced in the seats over the Brewers dugout. Guy one-handed in the second deck. Just caught that pop-up behind home plate. Impressive work.
Did you bring your fantasy camp flyers?
Flyers?
That's an easy trip for San Diego folks to go to Brewers fantasy camp.
No, I didn't bring any flyers.
I mean, it would have been perfect.
Yep, I didn't.
There's a lot of prospects out here.
We have some campers from San Diego.
The Colonel, Paul Bishop.
Paul Bishop, 14 years in a row.
When is fantasy camp, by the way, Rock?
January 31st, February 7th.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, there's all the information right there.
Yep, call 414-321-8605. It includes everything. But you're responsible for having a good time. We'll help you out. Happy hour goes a long way to help you do that.
Yep. My two favorite things are the daily hot breakfast and the athletic trainers.
Right, yeah.
Both are necessary.
Robin Yount's coming for a couple of days this year. Get an autograph from Robin. Get some tips from the kid. Rob Euchre's going to stop by.
There's a high drive. Solarte will watch this one fly way out of here. And the Padres finally strike against Taylor Youngman. They've been knocking at the door. Solarte with his 14th home run of the season. A 2-run home run. San Diego is on top.
You can see that coming. At some point, Taylor Youngman's going to have to throw one down the middle just to get a strike. It was a 2-1 pitch. It was down the middle, a little bit above the knees, and that's where lefties like it. Solarte drops the head. He knew it's out. That is a bomb down the line in right. That's the 11th home run allowed by Youngman. That really hasn't been much of a problem for him until his last couple outings.
Youngman has now allowed 8 homers in his last 5 starts. It's just a young pitcher who is running out of gas at the end of the season.
Yeah.
An ERA of 2.42 his first 16 starts, and he's up over 9 in his last 5.
He's given up 11 home runs this year. 8 of them have come in September.
Jed Jerko bats with nobody out. Grounded to short his first time up. And a wave and a miss. Up there with a fastball, Youngman. Activity in the bullpen. Kyle Loesch. And it's looking like a short start for Taylor Youngman. High pitch count. Still nobody out in the 3rd inning. Jerko has 16 home runs this year. Has never matched his rookie production when he hit 23 for the Padres in 2013. And they gave him a big contract after that year. He signed a 5-year deal after that big rookie season.
Dangerous, isn't it? After one season, giving guys big deals. Doesn't work out all the time.
He's got a contract that'll run through the 2019 season. And actually, there's a team option for 2020. This is only his 3rd year in the major leagues. Today is his 125th game, which matches the most he's played in the big leagues. Out in front of that one, little pop up over to Rogers for the out. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Brett Wallace, the well-traveled former top prospect. Cardinals, A's, Astros.
Yeah, left-handed with some pop. Pretty much a DH or first baseman. That's just about the only place you can play him, and bounced around quite a bit.
Had the unenviable task of replacing Lance Berkman in Houston at first base. And that did not last long. He was a great college player, Arizona State. Has fought his way back to the big leagues this year after a year away from the minor leagues. He's been traded 3 times. He's been released twice. Blue Jays had him briefly. The Orioles, A's, Cardinals. Well traveled. He was part of that Matt Holliday deal. Matter of fact, he and Shane Peterson were involved in that trade from St. Louis to Oakland. The Brewer outfielder. They were teammates. There's a little liner right to Rivera on the shift. 2 outs in the inning.
I think Wallace for a second thought he had a base hit right up the middle. But they had him played perfectly. Those scatter reports.
Here's Melvin Upton now. Upton struck out in the first inning with the bases loaded. That ended the inning. And it was on that pitch right there. This time he lays off. Upton's another guy in the middle of a long-term contract. His deal runs through the 17 season. That was a deal that the Atlanta Braves gave him. Signed him as a free agent. Hard to figure what happened to Melvin Upton. He was one of the elite outfielders at one point. Early when he first came up with the Rays. Then had a big year right before free agency. There's a liner to right, sinking fast. And Reed is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Michael Reed lays out and takes a hit away from Melvin Upton Jr. Good play in his first start in the major leagues. Got a highlight. Nicely done.
top of the 4th inning. Padres up by a couple of runs. Reserve your spot at Miller Park for the final series of the season as the Brewers close out the year with a weekend showdown against Chris Bryant and the division rival Chicago Cubs. That's tomorrow, October 2nd through Sunday the 4th. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com today.
What time's that Sunday game start, Rock?
2:10.
Good answer. There'll be a quiz later.
7:10, 6:10, 2:10.
Alex Amarista is coming into the game in left field. Myers is out. We'll catch the reason on that. Injury or illness, perhaps. Myers is out of the game early. 4th inning. Padres are losing all their starting outfielders. Rogers in the air to right field. And wow, Jankowski makes the catch. Oh my goodness. Crashing into the wall. And almost a smile on his face. That was a beauty.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark, but he made a nice catch. See where the railing juts out a little bit. Got caught right on the edge. It didn't hit him in the ribs, but got him on the side. That worked out as well as it could have possibly been for Jankowski. Nice catch over there in foul territory.
Sporting the Khalil green hair, Jankowski. Heck of a play. So 1 away. Rogers put out on that excellent play by the Padre right fielder. Here's Chris Davis. Davis on our Powerball home run leaderboard, the #1 spot. 26 homers for the year. Braun is done for the season. Davis will be the Brewers home run champ. That's saying something because he missed a month of the season with an injury. And then he came back and he wasn't playing much with Gerardo Parra playing so well. Nice story on Chris Davis from Tom Hodgecourt of the Journal Sentinel, talking about his home run barrage. All this started since August 6th. Had just 7 homers going into the August 6th game.
Amazing what playing time will do for a young guy, right? Get him in the lineup every day, get that stroke down, gets comfortable. Very strong, quick hands, ball jumps off his bat.
2 balls, 1 strike, and that one's ripped right to the shortstop, Jerko, for the out. Davis was right on it, hit it like a bullet, but right at Jerko.
A lot of atom balls today for both teams. Hitters hitting him right at the fielders. That time Jerko able to make the play.
That'll bring up Domingo Santana. He's always ready to hit. He just jumps right in that box.
He doesn't need to call timeout. He's ready.
Kennedy didn't even have a baseball yet. All these guys are looking for a finish here. Remember, most of them haven't played in September. They haven't played that 6 month of a baseball season.
Makes a difference. It really does. Got to learn how to pace yourself. And really, until you do it, you don't really understand that you have to pace yourself for that extra month. All new to them. It would be a big deal with just 1 or 2 guys, but it's just about the whole roster.
Yeah. Fly ball into right field. Jankowski has a much easier play on this one, and that will end the inning. After the Padres get 2 in the 3rd, Kennedy comes back with a 3-up, 3-down inning. 2-0 Friars. You don't shovel sun. 2-0 San Diego as we head to the bottom of the fourth. And our Carsoup.com trivia question: who are the 3 pitchers in Major League history to have at least 5 seasons of 40 or more saves? Good question.
Nice. You know, that sky reminds me of the Blue Angels flew over the ballpark before the game today.
That was nice. How many Blue Angels are there? 7?
6. Well, there's 6 in the formation today.
I see.
I think there's 7 actual Blue Angels jets that fly around.
Yeah, because didn't we see Blue Angels number 7? Oh, here's replay proof.
Yeah, see, there's 6 right there. Beautiful, huh? Oh, they come over with some power that you just feel the power when they fly over.
Youngman facing Derek Norris to start this 4th inning. 2-0 Padres. Yeah, that was an awesome sight.
Look how close. Wing to wing.
You just kind of take it for granted, but they're amazing at what they do. The best in the world at what they do. Norris skies one back in the seats. A foul ball. Rock and I and a number of the Brewers staff and some of the players, including Jonathan Lucroy, had a chance to go over on the off day here in San Diego Monday to the Marine Air Station.
Miramar.
Yeah, Miramar, and we had a chance to go into some of the flight simulators, which was really cool. Those were helicopter flight simulators. And we actually went on the flight line. We saw the Blue Angels parked out there. And then we got a little bit of a show on our own. There we go. Some of the gang that had us out. Colonel Paul Bishop set it all up. And great group there.
Good times.
Jonathan Lucroy, Nevin Ashley, Ed Cedar, athletic trainer Dan Wright there, Marcus Hamill. Yeah, that was a fun experience. Gives you a lot of respect for what they do and the skill it requires.
They were out there on the tarmac, and one of the Blue Angels actually took off. Took off as soon as the wheels got off the ground and went straight up into the air. Now, talking to one of the Blue Angels representatives, right down here, there's a little bit of a walkway in front of our booth. They asked if she remembered that, and she did, and it was a school teacher that was in that plane.
As Youngman issues a walk to Norris.
Blue Angels will take up some guests. It was a school teacher that was back there. I can only imagine. How that person was feeling as they were going straight up right off the runway.
There's no way that teacher did not black out. There's no way. The way that thing went straight up. I mean, it was like
the
G straight up.
The G-forces is what, they say the G-force is why you pass out. And then it's the weightlessness when they go up and down and around, which makes you throw up.
That's good to know.
And it's kind of a badge of honor when one of those pilots go up there, take somebody, and they do both.
They make you do both, right? They don't come down to you.
Right.
Yeah. What an experience.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, talking to Trevor Hoffman, he said he had the same issues. Council has seen enough. Well, that's going to be a tough finish to the year for Youngman. Just ran out of gas in September. But overall, it was a success. He's made it to the big leagues, and now he hopes to take this experience and get ready for next year. But a tough finish. He goes 3+, and now Kyle Loesch is in. Field Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Well, it's the end of the line for Taylor Youngman in 2015. He is out 3+. Goes 3 innings and 1 batter, 2 runs allowed. 84 pitches for Youngman. And now he'll turn it over to Kyle Loesch from the starting rotation to the bullpen, and we'll see if Loesch can give Craig Counsell a few innings here.
His last 14 appearances have all come out of the bullpen for Craig Counsell. Last pitched on Sunday against the Cardinals, and he's out there for a couple of innings, gave up 1 run.
Loesch coming down to the last few days of his Brewers contract. Had 2 terrific seasons. But year 3, not the year he wanted. He really struggled this year. He's been pitching a little better out of the bullpen. There's a bunt by Kennedy. It's a good one. Loesch has only 1 play. That's to Jeanette. And there is out number 1 on a sacrifice bunt. So here is Jankowski, who made a terrific play crashing up against the wall in foul territory to rob Rogers, or to retire Rogers. There's a strike from Loesch.
That command has been much better for Kyle since he's been out of the rotation. I think a little bit of it has to do with that middle finger. It was sore, apparently. Wasn't telling anybody when he was in the rotation, having a difficult time with his changeup. That's his bread and butter. Much better lately, as he missed high and away with it.
Well, I'm sure Loesch is going to get a chance with someone next year. But if it is his last year, and he certainly wants to play a few more, but if it is his last year, he's had a real nice career.
Yeah.
He got nothing to hang his head about. His best years were as a member of the Cardinals, but his 2 years in Milwaukee leading up to this one were very good. His first year had an ERA of 3.35, nearly 200 innings. He had nearly 200 innings last year, won 13 games. But his earned run average about 2.5 points higher this season, as high as it has been since 2010. And a called strike 3. Jankowski is rung up.
A late call, at least with the hand motions from the home plate umpire, Carlos Torres. Looked like he wasn't going to call it. That one right on the corner. Maybe a little bit off. He got the benefit of the doubt. He was thinking about it, then he rings him up. That's a late call.
That is a late call, but I'm all for it. Let's open this up a little bit. Padres have been taking, rightly so, but taking every at-bat. See if Loesch can get him into swing mode here. Amarista, his first at-bat, he came in for Will Myers last inning. Two outs. Runner at second. Loesch misses low and away. No word yet on the injury or illness, whatever it was that Myers was removed for. Could have been a manager's decision, I guess. But no reason given at this point. Amarista batting for the first time. Myers was 0 for 2. And Loesch deals strike 1. 2-0 Padres. Yangervis Solarte hit a 400-foot homer to give him a 2-0 lead. That was last inning in the third. Youngman issued a leadoff walk here in the fourth. Loesch replaced him. And Loesch trying to strand that runner, and he walks Amarista. Walks are piling up.
Yeah, 5 now.
And it'll be Corey Spangenberg. Two on with 2 away. Spangenberg had a leadoff walk last inning. He was on for the Solarte homer. Spangenberg had a single his first time up, and he takes a strike from Loesch. Loesch in his 15th year in the big leagues. Wrapping up his 3rd with the Brewers.
I figure he's going to get a shot, in spring training somewhere, and wouldn't be surprised to see Loesch in the big leagues next year.
Well, he'll be 37 next year.
Still has some years in him.
He's been in the big leagues since he was 22. Long career. There's a liner to right, base hit. Coming around 3rd, in to score is Norris. Throw goes to 3rd. It's late. And the Padres lead 3-0.
Spangenberg having a nice day. 2 for 2, a walk, a run scored, now an RBI. And the leadoff walk to Derek Norris comes around to score. Both leadoff walks today have come around to score. Spangenberg led off with a walk in the 3rd inning. He scored on Solarte's home run, and now a 2-out single scores Norris.
And that run belongs to Youngman, so you can close the book now on the Brewers starter. Youngman giving up 3 runs. His ERA to finish the season will be 3.77. Fly ball to right, Solarte out in front, and that will retire the side. So the inning is over, but the Padres add to it. They lead 3-0 in the final game of this 3-game series.
And today's time of the game winner, Mad Dog Saloon in Greenfield, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets from April or May 2016 Brewers home game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Get a shout out to my buddy Jim Wright with the Miller Brewing Company.
We'll see if the Brewers have some hits in them as we get to the 5th inning. Maldonado will lead off, then Michael Reed, then Rivera.
guess I should say the Miller Coors Brewing Company. Got to get it right.
Going to be great to get back to Miller Park.
Yes. Been 11 days on the road for the crew.
Last 2 road trips of the year, the 3-city variety. Those are tough. I mean, not tough by real world standards, but for baseball players,
well, being on the road, that's 21 days out of 30 on the road.
Traveling around, packing up your stuff.
Out of 31, actually. How's your suitcase doing?
It's ready to crawl on its own. I'm ready to put it away.
The sea air gets a little bit, misty.
Yeah, that's right.
Mildewy.
It's been very enjoyable here in San Diego. Brewers have won the first 2 games. Weather's been perfect. Great cruise in town. You can walk around for hours and hours downtown San Diego and the Gas Lamp District. Inside, Maldonado takes a ball, and it counted 2-2. So Will Myers left this game with left wrist soreness, and I would imagine that's going to finish him off for the year. He's been battling that injury all year. He's been on the DL twice with it and had that same problem last season. So that's turning into a chronic wrist situation for him as Maldonado strikes out.
And letting Carlos Torres hear about it as he walks away from home plate. Yeah, the only thing that's going to help the wrist injury at this point is rest. Of course, it didn't help him too much last year.
No surgery last year for Myers. Had a small procedure done this year. But it is an enigma. He is a great talent, but he's having a hard time with his wrist injury getting on the field.
Nothing worse for a hitter.
He's only 24 and a former Rookie of the Year. A career crossroads,
yeah,
for Will Myers.
Yeah, the hitting muscles for a hitter, elbows and below, the forearms, the wrist, the hands, very important. Keep those areas healthy when you're trying to hit.
Michael Reed batting for the second time. Had a single his last time up.
He stayed on one end, banged it into right field. He looks good at the plate.
Has a most desirable batting average. He's
1,000.
2 for 2.
1,000. Yeah, that's not bad. Doubled in St. Louis.
That was his first big league at bat. Had a double down the left field line. Scored the only run that game. Reed is in the lineup tonight, and we saw Taylor Youngman start the game. The scout that signed both of those players from the Brewers is Jeremy Booth, and he's here tonight watching this, and what a great source of pride for him to be able to watch 2 guys that he scouted and drafted make it to the big leagues.
Take a lot of pride in that. You know, scouts that go around and they try and find talent at the amateur levels, and they go back and tell the organization that they found somebody, they pick them up, and they end up in the big leagues. It's good work.
Yeah, put your name on them, and then they make it a notch in the belt. Good scouting. We salute all of those Brewer scouts out there that have put in a hard year. This is a year. You think about a scout for the Brewers this season as Reed fouls one off his leg. That one bit him a little bit. But when your team at the major league level is a losing team and you're making all these trades, major league players for minor league prospects, the scouts in your organization, they are not in major league facilities. They're in minor league facilities. They're looking at prospects. That is a very difficult job, trying to select. All right, who should we ask for Carlos Gomez?
Right.
Who should we ask for Gerardo Parra?
It's a completely different thing. Pro scouting and amateur scouting. He gets a call in the outside corner. Reed called looking. Thought it was off the plate. He was up ahead. He was ahead in the count, 3-1. Carlos Torres calls that one a strike, and it looked like it was on the plate. Fox Tracks never lies.
Never.
Fox Tracks has no agenda.
Calls it like it sees it.
Everybody else does.
Yadiel Rivera with 2 away. Kennedy has 7 strikeouts. And Rivera, one of those strikeout victims in the 3rd inning. Well, advanced metrics certainly have their place in baseball now, and they are ever evolving to help you evaluate players, what kind of players they will be in the future. That's where metrics come in the most when you're trying to evaluate what a player is trending towards, good or bad. But those human eyes on players, that's where it always ends up. Those are the guys that can validate or use those metrics in the right way to help you connect what the statistics show versus what the scout sees.
Right. Attitude, desire, those types of things. And David Stearns was up here a couple of days ago, saying he's going to have a nice balance of both the analytics and the pro scouting, the live scouting, to try and develop a winning organization here again.
A swing and a miss. Kennedy strikes out the side. 8 punch outs for him. And we're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Padres lead 3-0.
Up 3, time to check in with the crew and the community. Fans, players, and other supporters throughout the Milwaukee community have been very generous throughout the 2015 season. Brewers Community Foundation has surpassed all of its goals and is incredibly thankful for everyone's support. Countless individuals and families have benefited and received support in the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. We have truly harnessed the pride, passion, and commitment of Brewer fans to help others throughout our community. Thank you for joining us this season as we work hard to make a difference for others.
All right, Telly, thanks. Here we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And it'll be Jed Jerko to lead off. Kyle Loesch will start an inning now. He came in relief for Youngman and gave up a walk and a single. Youngman exits 3+ with 3 earned runs allowed. Curveball from Loesch. Throws a curveball. He has a cutter, a changeup. He's all about deception and movement.
Got it all. Yeah, got it all. Works the corners. When he's going well, when he's not, he's missing off the corners. He'd prefer not to have to get too much of the plate. That's when he ends up giving up the home runs.
2-2 to Jerko. Batting cleanup for the Padres. He's 0 for 2. Padres have lost their starting outfield in this series. Matt Kemp was hurt Tuesday night, a hand injury, finger injury actually. Justin Upton left the game last night with a neck injury. Will Myers left today's game with a wrist injury. The other Padres outfielder, Alex Dickerson, has a hip flexor, and he's out for the season as well. Open auditions for outfielders for the last 3 games.
Yeah, both teams in the same boat, right? Talked about that earlier. All the big names, just about all the big names out of the lineup.
And Loesch issues a walk. Well, the Brewers have got to start throwing strikes.
6 walks now. And another leadoff walk. That's 3 innings in a row.
Yeah, they're trying, but this game has a very bad pace to it. Infielders, outfielders are sitting back on their heels. Kennedy mowing right through the Brewers batting order. Loesch normally a very fast worker, but he's having a hard time finding the strike zone. Brett Wallace with a runner at first. He lined out his last time up. There's a curveball strike. I'm curious to know how long Jake Arrieta is going to pitch tomorrow for the Cubs.
It's got to be a very minimal pitch count, maybe 80 pitches perhaps, to get him ready for the playoffs.
Arrieta's 21-6 with a 1.82 ERA. Here's a chance at 2. Jeanette to Perez, the third baseman on the shift, and a double play.
Yeah, 4 to 5 to 3. You see that every day, don't you?
Every day. In the age of defensive shifts, you get a few of those every now and then.
Yeah, you see it more now than you ever did. Yeah, Wallace hits it 1 hop to Jeanette, and Perez able to take the throw from second and get the double play. Well, Loesch needed that.
2 outs, 1 swing of the bat. Here is Melvin Upton Jr. now.
Yeah, but knowing Arrieta, he's going to want to just go through his game like he normally would.
Yeah.
You think about it, why would you take the guy out of his rhythm, right? He's been so good. You don't want to push him too much, but he's probably going to sit in there and tell Joe Maddon, I want to pitch. I want to pitch, throw my 100 pitches. Just like it's a normal start. I don't want to get out of my rhythm. I don't want to get out of my routine.
His next start after tomorrow night against the Brewers will be in the wild card game, which will be on Wednesday, next Wednesday, against the Pirates. Now, it is still yet to be determined where that game's going to be played, whether it's going to be Wrigley Field or Pittsburgh. Most likely Pittsburgh, but the Cubs are still hanging in there. They're just 2 back with 4 to play. They could catch the Pirates. And if that wild card game's at Wrigley Field, I think there is a distinct home field advantage. It hasn't really worked that way in this wild card play-in game era. The road team has won 4 of the 6 that have been played so far. Upton, a little soft liner, that's past Rivera, and a base hit. And a 2-out single for Melvin Upton. So a base runner with 2 away for Derek Norris. Good try by Rivera. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag #WishDataStrongFan. And there is, well, it's from Michael, but I don't think that's Michael. But check out, is that Logan Schaefer out there? can't quite tell who that is.
Will Smith.
Maybe Will. Oh, it is Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith. That's in Arizona, isn't it?
That's a nice photo bomb right there by Will Smith. Well done. I thought Ed Cedar had a nice photo bomb out at the Marine base. That was Jonathan Lucroy and our host that day, one of our hosts that day, Captain Matt Recker. We're taking a photo, and Eddie walked by him like Bigfoot. You know that famous image of Bigfoot walking by? He photo bomb. There goes Upton. Maldonado's throw to second base, and it's on the bag. Safe is the call. Jeanette took the throw right on the back of Upton, and he's in there safely. That was close.
And Scooter took the throw in front of the bag and really had no opportunity to make a tag. A pretty good pitch. Maldonado's throw pretty good. We can see where Jeanette is. Did he get him?
Out.
He did get him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did get him right on the shoulder.
This one's going to be overturned. I bet.
This shouldn't take too long.
I bet Rock's mortgage on this one.
You mean you'll pay it?
I'll just bet it.
I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, if it's overturned, you still have to pay your mortgage. If it's not overturned, you're going to have to pay double.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're not going to pay it for me?
No.
What do you have to lose?
Well, I'm just trying to instigate the wager.
Here it is. Jeanette in front of the bag. Check out the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo. That's not
Easy.
even close. Looks like I'm going to have to pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
Due in a couple of days.
Yeah, the jersey moves. He's out. All right. Moving along, boys. It's not their fault. They're just waiting. They're waiting on word from Chelsea, New York. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, will.
Well, it's his fault for calling the runner safe.
Oh, that's Las Diaz. No, was it Jeff Nelson?
Yeah, Jeff
You're right.
Nelson, yeah.
Jeff Nelson was the second base umpire. Good point, Rock.
Can't imagine why it's taking so long.
All right, here it comes. All right, Jeff, you got it wrong. He was out. He's out.
Yep.
No problem. It's the end of the year for the umpires as well. Inning over. Maldonado with a caught stealing. 3-0 Padres. And we go to the 6th now. 3-0 San Diego. Rock, our Carsoup.com trivia, you might remember. The 3 pitchers in Major League history to have at least 5 seasons of 40 or more saves. And that would be Hoffman, the great Trevor Hoffman. Legendary Padre, had some time in Milwaukee. Mariano Rivera, and now Francisco Rodriguez.
Yeah, 2 of them in the ballpark today.
Yeah, they took a photo before the game today. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
Trevor Hoffman one of the 2 in the 600 save club. Frankie Rodriguez is climbing the list. He's got a chance at 400 next season. And the retired number of Trevor Hoffman. He usually stops by every year. Maybe he was just out for pregame only activities. Yeah. Never saw him.
Had to head home. Probably kid had a game.
Had to get one last surf in. The guru, Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah.
One of our favorites all time.
You were kind of comparing the K-Rod changeup to Trevor.
It's trending that way, I say.
Yeah, it is.
Not the same.
I agree. I agree with you.
Shane Peterson pinch hits here. And a high fly ball to center. That ball's pretty well hit. And Upton looks up, and she is gone. Shane Peterson flashing a little pop. And a home run off Kennedy.
Dead central out there. You don't see many home runs hit out there. That was way back. That was out of there by plenty. Peterson coming off the bench and getting the Brewers on the board. That's Shane Peterson. Boy.
That was impressive.
Fastball out over the plate. Nice easy swing and knocks it on out of here. Melvin Upton runs out of room. Way back.
Another successful pinch hit appearance by Shane Peterson, who just hit his 2nd career Major League homer. Here's Scooter Gennett back to the top of the order, back up the middle, and a base hit. Gennett with a single following the homer. And the Brewers, the 6th inning has been the magic inning in this series. Brewers have scored 7 runs in the 6th innings of the first 2 games, and now 8 runs. And now a man on with nobody out.
Yep, 6th inning, Ordinale the 3rd time through. And Scooter Gennett with his 2nd base hit.
Getting a lefty loose, Mark Zepchinski. Here's Hernan Perez. It's an interesting note on Kennedy giving up home runs. So he has allowed a home run now in 13 consecutive games.
Yeah. He's given up 31 of them this year.
You figure pitching in San Diego, that's going to be a stat that would be in his favor. It is not.
That ball carried pretty well to center field. It's carries a lot better in the daytime than it is at night.
Well, a long ball here. The Brewers could tie this thing up. Hernan Perez, not known as a home run hitter, has 1 in his career. That was in Los Angeles. Perez has been swinging the bat well. 3 hits last night. Had a single to right in the 3rd.
Not too many of his base hits have come to left field. That's the thing that you like about Perez. He has a good work ethic. Talking to Darnell Coles about him, he's really fine-tuned his swing up the middle and into right field. There's Darnell working overtime.
Those two are together with the Tigers.
Brewers on Tuesday actually had early hitting. Don't see too many teams out there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon this late in the season. They were out there. A lot of guys showed up. Still working. Keep the foot on the pedal until the season ends.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Perez. Runner at first is Gennett. A run is in on a Shane Peterson home run. And that skips away from Norris, and Gennett on his way to second, thinking about third. Forced to throw anyway.
We're going right through the legs of Norris. He looked a little slow behind home plate. He's not moving around too well. The second wild pitch of the game for the Padres.
Yeah, that goes as a wild pitch on the pitcher, but you're right. That's a play that's got to be made.
You got to be able to keep it in front. That's your job.
So a base runner in scoring position now for Perez. Gennett takes a big lead at second. And a pop-up foul 3-2 the count remains. Ian Kennedy running into some trouble here in the 6th. First time the Brewers have scored. He has 8 strikeouts and make it 9. Kennedy with a punch out for the first out of the 6th inning.
Hey, next Sunday it's the Brewers and the Cubs at 2:00 p.m. and all fans in Miller Park to see the Crew take on the Chicago Cubs for the final game of 2015. We'll get a free Brewers retro knit cap. For details and tickets, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com today.
That's the Sunday game, right?
2:10 start.
2:10 start.
Sunday. I said 2:00. I'm sorry.
1:30 airtime. Starts an hour later than normal. Jason Rogers now. Got a runner at second. Kennedy coming off his 9th strikeout. His season high is 12. That was a game against the Texas Rangers earlier in the month. A Shane Peterson homer has put the Brewers on the board. Called strike, just caught the edge.
And 92, one of his best bolts of the day.
Rogers getting his first at-bats of this series. Has had a good road trip for the Brewers when he's gotten his chance. 5 for 8 prior to today. That grand slam. Had an RBI in another game as well. Got one to pick up here with one away. 2-2 the count. In the dirt, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch count rising for Kennedy. Last start of the year. He's got a full off season. 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a foul. Kennedy will be a free agent at season's end. Signed a 1-year deal with San Diego. And you figure he'll get plenty of looks. Back end starter. And that one's a called strike 3. Rogers didn't like it, but Kennedy has hit that edge on a few occasions.
And too close to take with 2 strikes. I mean, that's about as perfect a pitch as you can throw on a full count. Check this out. Right on the edge, right at the knees. And Fox Tracks had it borderline, but Kennedy gets the call. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
2 outs now. Here is Chris Davis with Jeanette at second. Brewers down 2. Davis lined out his last time up. Hit one sharply to the shortstop. Kennedy struck him out in the 2nd inning. Brewers trailed 3-0. Peterson started this inning with a solo homer in a pinch hit appearance. And now Davis up there in a big swing. He was right on it.
That's his pitch right there.
On it, but under it. And it's 0-2. Got him. Another strikeout, number 11. His last 6 outs, he and Kennedy have all been strikeouts. Shane Peterson, however, puts the Brewers on the board with a homer, 3-1.
Two-run lead, and tomorrow the Brewers open up a weekend series against the Cubs, and because it's a student night at Miller Park, all high school and college students can get tickets for just $10, plus enjoy a special $3 pregame menu. For tickets, go to brewers.com/students.
Beautiful sunset, San Diego. Brewers are headed home after the game tonight. Start that series. Cesar Jimenez on the pitch for the Brewers. Kyle Loesch pinch hit for. And Loesch working 2 innings. Now Jimenez will take over for the 6th. Padres lead at 3-1.
Cesar Jimenez in his 19th appearance, a 3.43 earned run average. You see more strikeouts than innings pitched. And for the most part has been throwing a lot of strikes this year. He's had a couple of outings where he's lost home plate, but not too often. Last pitched on Saturday, a 3-up, 3-down inning in St. Louis.
Norris was at the plate when Upton was thrown out trying to steal. So he leads off this 6th inning. And a strike in there from Jimenez. Well, see if the bullpen can keep the game right here. Give the Brewers offense a chance to come back here today. Shane Peterson's homer, the only tally on the board. Looks like Murphy, the manager, is going to pinch hit for his pitcher next.
Pitch count around 100, right?
Yeah. So 6 innings for Kennedy. Strikes out 11. One off a season high in his final start of the year. That's a good final start of the season. 6 innings, 1 run. Brewers with 5 hits against him. Call it a season.
Yep. Disappointing season, but a good finish.
Sitting next to James Shields. 30 starts this year for Kennedy. He's going to have some suitors for sure. Look out. 2-2. Real jam shot foul. Jimenez with the good fastball. It's already some finals in the books today. Day games. The Dodgers beat the Giants, and that's significant because the Dodgers have now tied the Mets for the best record of those two teams. That's going to be the first round matchup, the division series matchup, LA and the Mets. And so they're fighting for home field advantage. The Phillies beat the Mets today. So the Mets and the Dodgers with identical records, 89 and 70. Phillies shut out the Mets, and the Dodgers beat the Giants 3-2.
That's going to be a tough travel series.
Yeah. Day off in between.
You doing that one?
No, I'm not. I'll be doing St. Louis and the wild card winner.
New York to L.A.
New York to L.A., and we might get St. Louis, Chicago.
Right, yeah.
It's beautiful. Might even just take a segue from those two.
Maybe walk.
Yeah, we might just walk. Walk for charity. Pinch hitter here for San Diego, so Kennedy's out. Rocky Gale, who started behind the plate last night, will bat. Had his first major league hit last night, as a matter of fact. Now 1 for 8.
Yeah, looked pretty good behind home plate. You know, once again, another guy in audition mode. You know, with these two ball clubs, Brewers, Padres.
Ground ball to Jeanette, and he's going to second base. Will get the out. Heck of a play by Scooter.
Yeah, not sure what Norris was doing there. Pulling an old Willie Stargell, sliding into second base. He slides and comes up about 5 feet short.
So one away.
I guess just didn't want to get hit with a throw from Scooter.
It's one way to stop. I mean, you got to stop somehow, right?
Yeah, he didn't even come close to second base.
Travis Jankowski takes a strike. And a ground ball to short. Chance to turn it here. Rivera to Jeanette. And it is in time for the double play.
Oh, man, I think he was safe.
That was close at first.
That guy can fly. Jankowski can run.
They're going to might take a look at this. And, yep, we are going to a challenge here. So Jankowski thinking he beat this one out. I think Jeff Nelson, instead of saying,
instead of going to the replay, he's just going to say he missed it.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure if you can even do that, can you?
Murphy hasn't had a challenge in this game. Not sure what this discussion is all about here.
It looks like maybe would be called safe on a review. They're going to go to a review. Foot on the bag, what, right there? This might get overturned.
Already had one overturned today. There's something more to this challenge, though. You can just tell by the way Jeff Nelson is communicating with the replay.
I'm not sure what it would be, though.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah,
He went to the manager, and it was a full explanation. Not sure what it could be. We'll have to find out later.
That's why it'd be nice at some point in as they move along the review process to maybe somebody tell everybody what's going on. It'd be nice.
Now, you know the out at second is good. So challenging the out at first.
This all because Jankowski just busting it down the line at first base. He can fly, he can run. Looked like it was going to be as routine as it gets. That ball was hit hard on a few hops. Looked like an easy double play, but Jankowski might have beaten it. Fooled everybody.
This is a guy that once had over 70 stolen bases in a minor league season. 2 years ago, he had 71 steals in the California League. There's been a successful challenge already on a safe call at second. Was turned into an out call. That went in the Brewers' favor. That was a Craig Counsell challenge. Taking a lot of looks at this one, apparently. I think the longer it goes, the better for the Brewers. If they came back with a quick call, that'd probably be a quick overturn. Is there enough evidence? Is there clear and convincing evidence? Is the question. Oh, this is a long replay. Long challenge. Baseball's got to do something about these.
Yeah, no kidding.
I like your rule. I like the 90-second rule. If you can't tell in 90 seconds, then
call stands.
The call stands. I'm with you, man.
I mean, these are not the calls that baseball. The reason that baseball implemented review is the obvious calls. I mean, these ones that take 3-4 minutes. Kind of ridiculous.
Fans are starting to get restless. That's a helpless feeling for the umpires as well. They're waiting and they don't want to miss these calls, but you're talking maybe the length of a baseball in the glove, whether it's an out or not.
Right. I wonder if they're looking at something else too. I mean, you're right. I mean, Jeff Nelson went over to Murphy, started talking to him. He first circled the umpires together. Can't imagine what's going on here, but we'll find out. Here we go.
Out. Double play.
Wow.
So not enough evidence to overturn that one, apparently. That one is a break for the Brewers. Inning is over. We head to the 7th.
Original Light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Padres lead 3-1. Sun setting here in San Diego, California. Top of the 7th inning we go. We remind you that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. Just visit foxsportssupports.com for more information. Domingo Santana at the plate, and his follow-through whacks the catcher, Derek Norris. New pitcher for the Padres is Sean Kelly. Ian Kennedy goes 6 innings with 1 run and 11 strikeouts.
Man, we're going to see the winning scenario bullpen for the Padres for the first time in the series. A good earned run average for Kelly at 255 in his 52nd appearance.
Brewers catch a break with a challenge that was not overturned. The call stands, and the replay center ruling that there was not enough evidence to overturn that out call at first base. That was close, though. It looked like he beat it.
Yeah, it took almost 4 minutes, and they still got it wrong. It looks safe to me.
1-2. Santana lays off.
Well, we'll take the out.
Yes. Due to time constraints, the call stands. A swing and a miss. Well, the Brewers are whiffing at an alarming rate right now. The last 7 outs against Brewer hitters have been strikeouts.
That's a good slider from Kelly. Yeah, late breaking slider. To go along with a fastball in the low to mid 90s.
12 strikeouts for Padres pitching, and 7 straight outs as K's. Here's Maldonado, who has struck out twice. Shows bunt, gets it down. Coming in is Solarte, and he can't handle it. Tried to barehand it. Maldonado will reach on a bunt single.
So you don't have to be fast to be dropping down bunts for a base hit. Yeah, third baseman playing behind the bag. That's Solarte, and not able to make the bare hand pickup. And Maldi at first base brings the tying run to the plate.
And it'll be Michael Reed.
Good time for that. Bring the tying run to the plate. 7th inning.
Reed is 1 for 2. Singled in the 3rd, had a advanced to 2nd on a pass ball, and then he struck out looking in the 5th inning. Big spot for him in his first big league start. That strikeout he had in the 5th, the first time he's ever been retired at the big league level at the plate. He's now 2 for 3. Ever.
And there's only one way to go when you're batting 1,000. It's a good slider Kelly has. He throws a lot of them. That's Santana on the slider, and that first strike to Reed a slider.
1-2 now. Reed lays off. He was called out on strikes on an outside corner fastball his last time up. Trust his eye enough to take that one.
Didn't miss by much, just a little bit high.
And a called strike 3. Down he goes.
Yeah, what else? Slider, right?
And the last 12 outs have been via the strikeout. That's the second for Kelly.
Kind of a backup slider. Didn't really break. You see the spin on it. You expect it to break away from you, and then catches the upper part of the strike zone.
Here's Yadiel Rivera, 2 away. Runner at first. Split time this year between AAA and AA in that order. Was playing a lot of shortstop at the AAA level, and then sent back to AA when Sardinas went back to Colorado Springs from Milwaukee. They dropped Rivera down to AA to play second base. Shortstop by trade, plays a little second, some third. At the AAA level, hit .238. At AA, hit .277 this season. And he was part of that Biloxi Shuckers Southern League runner-up team this year. That's the team that had a 54-day road trip to start the year. You might have heard about it.
Yeah, too bad they didn't win that Southern League championship. One game away. So close, yet so far.
Took it to a game 5, a decisive game 5. 3-1, and a fly ball into right field. And Jankowski has to reach up at the last moment to snare that one. He's made 2 nice catches in this game. Rivera robbed of an extra base hit, and it's still 3-1 San Diego. And the Padres get a 2-run homer from Yangervis Solarte. A long shot out of here. That came in the 3rd inning. Put him on the board. And then the Padres get one in the 4th. Corey Spangenberg with a 2-out RBI single. Shane Peterson with the lone Brewers run. A home run to center field. His 2nd big league home run of his career. And it is 3-1 San Diego as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last road game of the season. Brewers trying to sweep San Diego for the first time ever in San Diego. Cesar Jimenez back on the mound. He'll start his 2nd inning. Workday scoreless 7th. Amarista entered the game for Will Myers, who's out with a wrist injury again. Amarista walked his first time up. This is his second plate appearance. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 8th inning. Going to have the 9th place hitter, the pitcher spot, and then back to the top of the order after that. Trying to steal one on the road to wrap it up and sweep this series on their way back to Miller Park.
Yeah, be nice. Miller Park with a nice winning streak as the Cubs come into town.
Jake Arrieta tomorrow. He is making a bid at a Cy Young Award in the National League. Greinke's going to get one more start for the Dodgers this weekend. There's a called strike 3, and out is Amarista.
Yeah, there's your incentive for Jake Arrieta for tomorrow's start. You know, you'd like to notch another win. He's going to pitch at least that long to see if he's able to do that. Brewers are looking to disrupt that party for Arrieta. They owe him big time. Well, he pitched well against Milwaukee at Wrigley.
Arrieta has an earned run average of 1.82. Zach Greinke's ERA is a major league best 1.68. Arrieta has a no-hitter this year, has the lowest ERA ever in the second half. Arrieta has 21 wins to Greinke's 18. Greinke's had an amazing season. He leads the league in winning percentage and earned run average. He leads both leagues in whip. His whip, which is walks and hits per inning pitched, is below 1. It's actually 0.85. Crazy numbers. Going to be a tough call there.
They have 21 wins. I mean, that has to say something about Arrieta, and perhaps gets him over the top on Greinke. Arrieta's up there in strikeouts, innings pitched. So is Kershaw, I should say Greinke. Greinke nowhere around in strikeouts. That's the only spot that he does not appear in a lot of the major pitching categories. Arrieta's got a 10-game winning streak too. Greinke 8-game.
Greinke had that long scoreless inning streak earlier this year. High fly ball left center. Long run for Santana. And he's got it for the out. A roundabout route for Domingo.
Sometimes it doesn't look like he's running all that hard, but I think that's just the way he runs. I mean, Ed Cedar was talking about that with respect to Santana running the bases. It's kind of deceiving how much ground he's covering with those long strides, even though he doesn't look like he's running really hard. Check it out. He's playing around toward left. You see the way he's kind of coasting, but covering a lot of ground with those long legs and able to make the catch as he goes down.
Ed Cedar says he chews up ground unexpectedly. Might remember that play in St. Louis when Ed put up the stop sign and Domingo ran through the stop sign, but the reason that all went down is Cedar took one peek at the ball, and when he put up the stop sign, Santana was already right in front of him. That's a challenge for a third base coach when you're trying to learn the base runners. There have been so many new players. You're trying to figure out their speed, their jumps. Do they run hard all the time?
And a lot of the visiting teams that you're playing against have young players. You're not sure about their throwing arms. Not so much in St. Louis, but that would certainly apply in this series.
Solarte, the switch hitter, on the right side now. His two-run homer put the Padres on the board in the third inning. And that one out in front. Fly ball, center field, Santana. And Cesar Jimenez with a nice 3-up, 3-down inning. 2 scoreless for the lefty. We're headed to the 8th. Brewers are coming up. Petco Park, wrapping up our last road game of the season. And our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game. Unexpected power on a pinch hit appearance. Shane Peterson goes deep. And the Brewers have just one run on the board. San Diego pitching is racking up a bunch of strikeouts today. 13 of them, as a matter of fact. And it's going to be Logan Schaefer to hit to start this 8th inning. Joaquin Benoit
having a nice year as a setup man. 67th appearance and a 238 earned run average for Benoit. He's allowed just 11 runs this year. I should say 11 runs in his last 54 appearances. That dates back to early May. That's a 203 earned run average, holding right-handed hitters to a 137 batting average. So after Logan Schaefer, you got a number of right-handers coming up. I wonder if Greg Counsell's going to go to the bench. He's got Schaefer, who's up now, and then Lind on the bench. Sardinius, the switch hitter.
Plenty of options in September call-up time. Schaefer will pinch hit in the 9th spot of the order. Joaquin Benoit. A lot of talk that Benoit might end up elsewhere. Padres stood pat on a lot of their big-time name players. Their closer is Craig Kimbrell, and this club has a very good 1-2-3 punch to the finish line. Benoit sets up, and then Kimbrell closes games. Sean Kelly is their 7th inning pitcher.
Likes to work that outside corner. Very deliberate out there on the mound, not in any hurry. Fastball slider. He will throw a split.
Another guy that's been around a long time. He's 38 years of age. And a grounder to second on that split finger fastball. Schaefer is out. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Arrieta tomorrow against Pena. You got Tyler Wagner, Kyle Hendricks. Dan Herron will match up against Jorge Lopez. And don't forget Sunday on the air at 1:30. First pitch is at 2:10, not 1:10 like normal. A 2:10 start Central Time Sunday afternoon. All games will start at the same time. The entire Major League Baseball schedule Sunday. Here's Scooter Gennett, top of the order. Gennett with 2 hits today, 2 out of 5. Splitter that gets away from Benoit. Benoit had some closing time with the Tigers a couple of years ago. Had 24 saves. That's his best mark. Second year in San Diego. And a pop-up in the infield. Solarte wants it. And there's out number 2.
That split-fingered fastball sometimes looks more like a forkball. He doesn't throw it very hard. Big break on it, going straight down, and I guess the difference between forkball and splitter is the velocity that you throw it. And that one more like a forkball.
Here's Hernan Perez now, facing his old teammate with the Tigers, Benoit, although Perez wasn't there long. 0-2. 8th inning, especially with a closer like Craig Kimbrell as your strike hitting, you got to try to muster up something. Kimbrell doesn't give up much at all. Could shorten this game quickly. Padres are a lot like the Brewers. They're a losing team, but their winning combination in the bullpen is very good. So if you get behind them after 6 innings, you're in trouble usually. 0-2 pitch. And a fastball turned around, a base hit to center. Perez, 3 hits last night, 2 more hits today, and now the tying run will bat. Here comes Jason Rogers.
They keep bringing that tying run to the plate to the Brewers, and you got now the guys can knock some baseballs out of the ballpark. Rogers already with a dramatic home run on this road trip.
So Rogers up there with 2 away, looking for a mistake. And a strike on the outside corner. San Diego's bullpen, namely Kimbrell, they are 61-0 when they lead after 8 innings. The Cardinals were 85-0 before Rogers hit that grand slam last Sunday. Their first and only loss of the year after an 8th inning lead. One ball, 1 strike. Perez with a 2-out single. And Rogers pops it up, foul grounds. That's going to be out of play. It's the only real advantage the hitter has here at Petco. There's very little foul territory. So you don't have a lot of outs in foul grounds.
At least hitters have that going for them.
That's about it.
Yeah. Other than the fact that it's always good hitting weather.
That's true. Comfortable.
Never cold.
Hardly rains.
I mean, all relative. I mean, they think 60 degrees here is cold.
1-2 the count. 2 outs in the inning. Brewers down 2. And timeout asked for and given. Does Rogers have one big swing in him? 1-2 pitch, and down he goes. Nice splitter from Benoit. And the inning is over. Missed opportunity for the Brewers. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Effort, Jeff. You guys get to hear him on the air, and but he puts in a lot of time and effort preparing for those Brewers Live pre and post game shows when we're on the road, and we appreciate his good-natured attitude, his little quips, and his excellent work ethic. He's gold. Jeff Grayson. Jonathan Barrios is on the mound for the Brewers. He has been impressing daily. His 4th outing.
He's got a good fastball. He's been very good. He's been able to throw a lot of strikes, 5 strikeouts, and just shy of 4 innings of work.
It's only his 3rd year as a pitcher. He was a 3rd baseman, 2nd baseman, 1st baseman, position player. Didn't hit much, so the Pirates converted him to the mound. And the Brewers got him in the Aramis Ramirez trade, and he's got a big league fastball.
Yes, he does.
Slings it up there at 96 for a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Get some power added to that Brewers bullpen. Slowly but sure, they're starting to get some, big arms, big fastballs down in that bullpen.
And that's really the pitch that has impressed. He's got a changeup to go along with his fastball that's about 10 to 12 miles an hour slower. And he throws it for strikes.
And Molly down for the count.
A foul ball off Maldonado. And he's going to need a minute. On the bounce.
Yep, on the bounce.
That's not good.
At least it's not a direct shot. He'll be all right in a minute.
Now the Brewers do have Nevin Ashley to catch. Lucroy will not catch the rest of the year, but Maldonado, he's going to recover, but it may take a minute. Every catcher, those two are both catchers, Narin and Jonathan Lucroy. They know the pain well. Oh, man.
Yeah. Unless you've been back there and experienced it for yourself, you have no idea what that's like.
Awful. I had one in college just like that on a bounce. My hand went numb. Seriously, my right hand went numb.
I'm not going to go through any of my experiences.
Oh, man.
He's all right.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Tough guy.
Yeah, and you're in the big leagues, too, and you know there are replays, and half the population is right there with you, Maldy.
Nevin's ready. He's experienced it.
Yeah, he sprinted in from the bullpen. He's gassed. He's got to go take a breather.
He's dying to get back in there. He wants to play. Just like it never happened right now.
All right, so the count is 1-2 and in the dirt. 2-2. That right there is whoever the genius was that invented the phrase tools of ignorance. That's what he meant. Jam shot pop up to Rivera. And Jerko is retired.
I got a couple of things I'd like to say to add to that, but I choose not to. The guy that invented the protective cup, that was not ignorant.
No.
That was very smart.
That was genius. Thank goodness for him. Brad Wallace with one away.
Changeup.
Yeah, he's got a good one, and he's not afraid to use it. No. For a guy who's only been pitching 3 years, it's fascinating to watch him work, and the council was marveling that he's already made it to the big leagues. Most guys, when you convert like that, it takes a while. Because it's not just stuff at that point to make it to the major leagues. They converted him because he has a third baseman's arm. But you have to prove that you can command, have an off-speed pitch, you can make pickoffs to first, you can hold runners, all those things that come into play as a pitcher.
That's the thing. I mean, having the big arm, that's not the big deal. He's got that naturally, but coming up with that changeup, it's a good pitch. Not just a changeup, but a very good one at that.
He's not a big guy, but he's got a weapon in that fastball. And it has a ton of movement on it as well. Look at that one. Changeup dropping to the bottom and a swing and a miss. So down goes Wallace. Back-to-back outs for Barrios.
There it is again, just dropping off the table, and Brett Wallace way out in front. When you coming out of the bullpen, that's all you need. You need a big fastball, that changeup. That's all he's going to need. Gets ahead in the count. He's able to keep it down in the zone, out of the strike zone, and he gets his strikeout.
I think Wallace was arguing that he foul tipped it into the ground. That was not the case. Here's Melvin Upton Jr. swinging a foul tip. Went back to it again.
One thing you don't want to see is have him fall in love too much with that changeup. I mean, it's the fastball, the reasons why he's in the big leagues. Keep throwing it. There it is.
97. Upton sends one into right center field, and that'll be run down by Reed. And the inning is over, and Jonathan Barrios continues to shine. Another scoreless inning for him. Last call for the Brewers. We go to the ninth. Brewers baseball on a beautiful night in San Diego, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Boy, that is pure art up above. Well, and one of the game's best closers, Craig Kimbrell. He has blown 4 saves this year. He's got an outside chance at 40 saves this season with 4 to play.
It'll be his 5th consecutive year of 40 or more saves. Back in 2013, he had 50 saves. 38 out of 42. He's led the league in each of the last 4 years in the National League in saves, and has a 2-run lead to protect.
One of the more surprising moves of the offseason, the Padres trading Craig Kimbrell to the San Diego, or rather Atlanta trading him to San Diego. Came with Melvin Upton. That was the deal that sent Cameron Maben and Carlos Quentin, Matt Whistler over to Atlanta. That was a payroll dump. for the Braves. Chris Davis leads off. Able to check his swing. Brewers are down 2, need a base runner. Got some power hitters coming up, Davis and Domingo Santana. After that, Maldonado, and if anybody gets on, Michael Reed. Don't forget, Council still has Adam Lind in his in his bench that he can use. There's a strike.
Yeah, Kimbrel can reach 99 miles an hour with a fastball. That last one at 97. Slider and occasional changeup.
Kimbrel figures to be a Padre for a while unless they trade him. He's under contract through the 2018 season. There's a lot of discussion that he might be traded this year at the trade deadline. You know the haul he could have gotten in return, but General Manager A.J. Preller, first-year GM here, didn't want to trade a lot of these pieces away. He wants to try to do a quick reset and make a run at the division next year. Power on power. 2-2 the count on Davis. Kimbrel is a former Rookie of the Year. Prior to this year, had made 4 straight All-Star teams. And one of the game's most dominant closers. 2-2. Oh, he got him. Slider. No fair.
Yeah, no way you can look for that. Upper 90s fastball. Threw a couple of sliders before that one and missed badly. And that one right down the middle of the plate. Tip your hat. Yeah, that's all you can do.
One away. Here is Santana.
No way you can cover both of those pitches.
That familiar Kimbrel pose, stalking the hitter as he looks in for a sign. And that's a drive into right center field. On the run is Jankowski. He was playing deep, cuts across to run it down for the second out. 2 outs in the ninth. The Brewers need some 2-out magic if they're going to sweep the Padres for the first time ever here. Down to their last hope in Martin Maldonado. And a wave and a miss, a slider. Kimbrel looking for his 39th save. 0-2. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Ian Kennedy in the winner's circle right now. It would be his 9th. Youngman on the hook for the loss. Brewers down to their last strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Maldonado. Lays off. 98.
Trying to hit 100. Just reaching back and letting her fly.
Got him. That's a ball game. San Diego wins their final game at Petco this year. Solarte with a 2-run homer, the difference. And a 3-1 San Diego victory. That is save number 39 for Craig Kimbrel.